move on to the defenders. Starting with Cameron Carter-Vickers. This 24-year-old from Southend-on-Sea, England, plays for Celtic in the Scottish Premier Division. Even though Carter was born in England, he gained citizenship through his dad, who played hoops over at LSU. Growing up playing for the Tottenham Hotspurs Academy, he's been all over England, whether it be the first or second division, hopping from team to team. These last 2 seasons with Celtic, he's been an absolute staple at their back line and being a huge aerial threat. You can expect him to be a big presence, especially in the air. Next up, Serginho Dest. The 22-year-old from the Netherlands is quite young and already has quite a CV to his name, playing for teams like Ajax, Barcelona, and AC Milan already. He gained US citizenship through his father, who served in the US Army. Dest is an extremely fast and an even more skillful fullback. He'll be playing on the right side for the US and 100% is going to be the starter if he can stay healthy. That is the problem though, staying healthy, especially in these close condensed games. Dest has a tendency, especially in his right calf, to pull up on injuries. Things that are going to be great for the US is if he's playing and he's on the ball, he's going to absolutely terrorize defenders when he's going up the field. The problem is, he really does like to go up the field and sometimes forgets to come back, and his speed sometimes saves him, sometimes doesn't, and it leaves a really big space in the back for the back line. Aaron Long. This 30-year-old may be from Oak Hills, California, but he's got the blue collar attitude. When he was in the USL, he actually worked construction full-time to help pay for the bills. This New York Red Bulls center back is a MLS legend and known for being one of the best defenders in the league. This is someone that's really living up the pedigree of the past. He was MLS Defender of the Year in 2018, won the Supporter Shield with New York Red Bulls in 2018, was listed to MLS Best 11 in 2018, and has really been considered one of the best defenders since. However, at the start of 2021, he ruptured his Achilles, which had him out for over a year, and fans don't know if he's going to be able to return to his full strength. But fans are really hoping to get the Aaron Long of old, and not an old Aaron Long. If he does end up making an appearance on the field, you can expect him to be playing out of the back and playing long diagonal balls to our forwards. Shaq Moore, the 26-year-old from Powder Springs, Georgia. This kid has had some serious development growing up, playing for both the prestigious IMG Academy and the world-renowned FC Dallas Academy. He was making a lot of appearances towards the end of the season for La Liga 2 team, Tenerife. But as the season ended, he wanted to make sure he stayed in form. So he actually transferred over to the MLS, where he could play for Nashville SC with fellow teammate Walker Zimmerman. Moore really became a regular in the squad, mostly as a sub or just on the bench towards the end of qualifiers, but not a shock to most that he's making the squad. Young, talented, and raw. Has a lot to learn and hasn't really got too much on the field, but won't hurt too much to have him. Really going to be good development for the following World Cup. Tim Ream, the old man of the group, from St. Louis, Missouri, is currently playing for Fulham with fellow teammate Anthony Robinson. Credited by many of the Fulham fans to be part of the reason they made it back into the Premier League and have been doing so well, Ream has absolutely revolutionized their defense and has really been helping the US defense. Pep Guardiola of Manchester City even said to Ream, if you were 24 instead of 34, you would play for me. In a cheeky response, Ream replied, well, it's a shame I'm 35, not 34. Ream will most likely be the starting left center back for the US, paired up with his teammate Anthony Robinson. He's also a potential captain option for the US. Anthony Robinson, 25-year-old from Liverpool, England, currently is playing for Fulham with teammate Tim Ream. Robinson's known for his sick celebrations and being one of the only people on planet Earth cool enough to give themselves a nickname, and it sticks. Known as Jedi after being an avid Star Wars fan growing up, you can see him use the Force as he uses his blistering pace to get by all the defenders, and he surely is going to be the starting left back for the US. Jedi is a key player the US needs to be on their A game if we're going to want to have any success at this tournament. The US have been struggling to find a left back, and they think they have found it in Jedi. He's on his game, he's delivering in perfect crosses and maybe even finishing a few. We're going to see Jedi most likely paired up with Christian Pulisic on that left-hand side, so he really will be combining and creating absolute hell for the defenders back there. The dark side of the Force is he does like to stay up there though. So, hoping that he can make sure that he can both help out Christian up top, but also help the defense in the back. Joe Scally, the youngest player at the tournament for the US, hailing in at 19 years and 325 days. He comes from Lake Grove, New York, and plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach in the German First Division Bundesliga. Say that 5 times fast. Scally was a key player for the German side, even being a part of the 5-0 whooping of the Bavarian Giants Bayern Munich. Scally is an extremely talented kid and a prospect for the future. However, he probably is going to be the last option for the fullback position, so don't really expect to see him at the tournament. Walker Zimmerman. The 29-year-old Lawrenceville, Georgia, is one of the most reoccurring players during the qualifiers, appearing in 10 out of the 14 qualifier games for the US. He's definitely expected to be one of the starting center backs alongside Tim Ream. Currently playing for Nashville Soccer Club in the MLS, Zimmerman's stock really grew with US fans once he was admitted into both starting lineups for the US and for Nashville, and all of a sudden stats did improve for both teams. Sometimes caught lacking and going too far back and a little bit of ball watching. However, Zimmerman can be expected to be the leader up front for the US, which at times has been very good and sometimes has been exposed. Let's see what should we get at the tournament. DeAndre Yedlin. The 29-year-old from Seattle, Washington, is the only player on the entire squad with World Cup experience, appearing at the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, where he made 3 substitute appearances. Yedlin spent his youth career at the Sounders FC Academy and eventually got a move to Tottenham. That then saw him hopping from team to team to team all across England and Europe, but now he's with Inter Miami FC in the MLS. Yedlin's best attribute is his blistering pace. That also is his worst attribute, as sometimes it leads to really heavy touches and you don't get quite the creative play you're going to get with Serginho Dest, and sometimes he relies too much on the blistering pace, so he'll get caught higher up and his only way of defending is knowing that I'm going to maybe catch up to you. While he'll be one of the fastest at the tournament, it will get exposed by more creative and experienced players. I wouldn't expect to see him starting, but if either of the fullbacks needs to go out or gets injured, I would expect him to be the first option to go in there.